Hello again. So I see it's been about a month since I've really walked through and checked on all my plants, so I thought I would take you along. It is middle of October. I think today's the 17th, so it's really cooling down. The weather's been so nice, although it is supposed to be 93 on Thursday. Today is Tuesday, and yeah, that's crazy. But so let's take a look. And anybody following along, if you remember, I took a couple of fig cuttings off of a tree growing in the, out on the side of the road out here, which is kind of funny. They grow all over out here. And the one didn't make it, but this one, the second one did. It really put out a nice shoot, so this one's doing good. So I may have a little fig tree next year. Back in here, not much to report. This pot looks amazing. This Portulacaria Afra variegata. I need to really think about pruning that back. I should take a bunch of small cuttings and put them together and root them up and, just get a nice full bowl. Look at how fat this guy's getting. Yeah, that is, it was supposed to be what is it? It was supposed to be the blue, the azurius, the plios. Which one was it? Pilosirius, Pilos. I'm gonna have to look, but the azurius, and it's been green and it's been in a pot. So what he sold me, that's what it was supposed to be. You see the huge difference in color. That's a nice healthy one. Except the two little pups that were growing at the bottom, they both tanked. I still haven't pulled them out of there. But this one's doing really good. It's got a lot of growth. Clearly this is a different variety, but that's okay. My little bowl here looks really good. And a bird pooped on it right there. You can see the white. I keep meaning to clean that off, but haven't done it. I see some mealybug activity on that one. I need to take care of that. These are my sempervivums. They should be more colorful, but they were kind of in the shade because they just do not like our full sun here. And yeah, I need to deal with that. Ooh, zooming in. Okay, trying to figure out where I'm at here. Sorry about that. I got some euphorbias here. My Medusa's head is looking really good. It put on a lot of growth this year. There's a lot more in the middle, but it flowered again, and I will put these away pretty soon to protect them. Last year I just put them under this shelf so that they didn't get frost on them, and they did really well. But some of this stuff, some of these euphorbias, I will bring them in to protect them. But everybody's doing good. Oh, these little cactus cuttings in there, those little seedlings I found in a pot, they're actually hanging in there. I thought I killed them, but no. Everything over here looks good. What I had, where was it? Yeah, this big Gymnocalycium, it had actually flowered again. It still has one more bud that's going to open. This thing has just been a blooming fool. I will bring this little agave in this year because last year it almost died. So I'm just starting to plan what's coming in, what's not going to, because I want to make sure the ones that didn't do well last year do better this year. And this, look at the crest on this. It's so exciting. It's my first crest. Ooh, are those flower buds? Or are those just new arms coming out? I think those are just new arms. I've got feathers everywhere. Yeah, that's doing really good. All the plants that I got from God, what's his name? Brent Wiggin are doing really good. These Trichocereus, these are all these hybrids, they're all doing great. I bought 6 of them. They're all happy. I got to find a place to put them. And this is a Parodia. Look at the thing. That thing is going crazy. I've had that for years, and it flowered so much this year. It's got so many pups. Nice and bright. You can see my Euphorbia milii. They're all happy, they're flowering. I love this little, how pretty is that? The color on there, I love it. And I have it right next to here because it matches this beautiful Opuntia. Look at the purple on this thing now. This had, I believe, 3 pads on it when I bought it, or maybe 4. It was the one main one, and then it had like 2 or 3 little ones, and it's really grown this year. So it's doing great. This is the pup that I took off of this perii, agave perii. It's doing good. I have another pup over on my back shelf. It's kind of hiding. Still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with that Euphorbia, this amic. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to protect that this year. I don't want to get it in frost damage. I need to prune some of this. What did they call that? Oh, I Googled it and I forget now, but it's just grown completely over everywhere. It's starting to get a little floppy. This is my purple people eater, this mangave. How happy is this plant? This thing's going crazy. Crazy. All this stuff is filling in. I will cover this up with some frost cloth this year because I did lose a lot of plants down in here last year. But I didn't replace them with the same thing. You know what? I don't think I even added new plants this year. I think this is just still what was left, and some of them just really took off and are established. But I will throw some frost cloth over them. This Aloe Starry Night. This was one kind of small plant. It had a couple of pups, which I took off, and this thing is just taken off. And then I have these 2 Echeveria agavoides. I love these. They're just super strong and so hardy in our area. They do really well through summer and winter. And these little neon breakers. Oh, I see that one's kind of got a few pups now. It struggles. I'll have to cover it this year. This Aeonium, I'm not sure if this was a Merlot or silk, I forget. It never really went dormant. And what I mean, if you're not familiar with Aeoniums, is this one was dormant all summer. You see how it's still closed up? It's starting to open back up. And it was just one little tiny stalk with one head on it last year, and it just went crazy. I do see I have a dead one. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's flopped over, and it looks like I see some mealybugs on it, so I probably need to treat that and cut that piece off. All these are doing really good. I just never get over these 2 and the spines that they've put out. They're just, the spines are massive on these. This little Euphorbia lactea will have to come in. I brought it in last year. I have all these little guys. They're all doing really good. This one got some, you can see it's pretty stressed there. I think that was from the sun because that's the side the sun hits. But it's okay. But everything down here is really filling in. Here's another agave. I did not bring this one in last year either, and I had to prune it way back because it had a lot of, dead leaves down there. But check out the pup that it sent out. It's completely different from itself. Where this is all compact and tight, this has got these long leaves, more like an aloe. Interesting. Some more Portulacaria afrovariegata. This little section struggled. I kept adding new little pieces to make it look fuller, and well, it finally took off. And it's doing really good. I have this little tephro cactus, which is so cool. And these, you gotta be careful touching these because these little pieces will just fall off, but it's like paper. And it's happy right there. Look how pretty colors. Over here, I have another Euphorbia milii. This one almost died off last winter, and I wasn't sure if it was going to make it, so this year I will cover it. But it took all year to come back, and it only got, I think it had 1 or 2 flowers over on this far side that, of course, you can't see. So I never even knew it flowered. Now, in this pot, this Aluaudia procera, right here. It's kind of hard to point when I zoom in, but those long ones sticking up. They don't look dead. Now the tops look like they're dying off, and it looks like 2 of the stalks are pretty much dying, but I'm going to go ahead and pull those out because I cut a piece off and the plant was still alive and looked healthy, but it never leafed out. So I'm done with it. I'm going to redo that pot. I can see it's sort of sinking down in there. And yeah, here's another one of these. What is it? Pilosacerius azureus. Okay, that's what it is. The blue torch. And this is the one last year I got frost damage to the top and it rotted. So I chopped it off and it sent out 2 new pups, 2 new heads, arms, whatever. So I'm pretty excited about that. I will protect it. Little gymno in there and another little rainbow hedgehog cactus. And then here, this is some sort of a trichocereus. I don't know what exactly this is. I just bought it from somebody. I do need to treat it still. I still haven't treated it. And I see it's got some kind of issues down there. It flowered again. The 2 flowers bloomed, fell off, and that was the end of it. But this one, which had bloomed right before I got it, produced, that's got to be full of seeds, that fruit. So I'm still waiting to see what it's going to do. And I'm going to try to get some seeds. I did plant up my blue barrel. So it's just sitting there. I haven't watered it. I'm pretty much done watering the cactus. I probably won't water them again. I do hit the succulents, some of the softer stuff. All these little guys are still doing really well. I noticed somebody knocked my otter over. And I see a line of ants on my wall back here. Yeah, I need to deal with that. Excuse me. It's going to be about that time where the ants are going to start wanting to come in the house. So I'm going to really have to watch that. My Tradescanthia, which I just cannot remember to water. But it's you know, it's drought tolerant, so it's still doing okay, but it doesn't look great. So I don't know. Maybe I move that somewhere else so that I don't have to, you know, try to remind myself to water it. My monkey tail cactus is doing good. I did take a few Euphorbias I had sitting up here on this table, and I moved them a little bit. I will start to move some of these, I don't know, probably somewhere else so they get a little more protected. I think this Gymnocalycium here is dead. Yeah, that's dead. I think I'll pull it out and check it, but yeah, I'll need to move some of these in. Look how pretty this one is. That is the Echeveria rainbow, and it's got 3, you know, it hasn't done a whole lot since I got it, but it's pretty. And yeah, all these little ones are doing good. I'm losing all the leaves on my Japanese maple. This is the red dragon, and it's the weeping lace leaf variety. And when I looked it up, it said they do lose their leaves in the fall, so that's normal. So that's good. And if any of you saw, this was given to me, this, oh God, what's it called? It's a senecio, I believe. And it was just these scraggly little pieces, and she gave them to me to try to, you know, bring them back. And I stuck them back in this corner, and they have grown like crazy. So the one here sticking out, that's well over a foot long. That's probably 14 inches long. And then this thing was a little tiny cutting, and it's grown over the side and laying on the ground, and it's just as happy as can be. Can't get over these fret ives. Eventually I'm going to have to pull them out of here. The Sansevieria is doing great. There's new pieces popping up, you know, all around here. All those in the back on the sides. So yeah, I'll have to redo this pot, but I probably won't do it until spring. This one still looks good. I like it. I will leave it. This one looks good. I like that. I never did put top dressing on there, so maybe I'll throw some, you know, something in there just to help insulate the plant's roots so when it starts getting cold. And so this fern was on the porch before, and I'm just going to get rid of it. This is a silver lady. I think, Yeah, Silver Lady. And it has struggled. Look at all the little succulents that are growing in there. I always just throw leaves in there, succulent leaves when they break off. But now it's infested with mealybugs. And I have no luck with ferns. You know, I forget to water them. They dry out. I bring them back. They dry out. I bring them back. And I'm just done with ferns. They're too sensitive. And I don't think my climate here is just conducive to ferns. Unless you're a little bit more diligent about taking care of them. And I'm just not. I am super happy with these little bromeliads. They're called Strawberry Flame, and I thought they were dead. There was barely any life in them, and now they're just doing so well. And this is actually 2 here, but they're cool. They're pretty stiff leaves, and they're kind of, I don't know what you want to call it. They got like teeth along the sides, but it's a cool plant, and it should get quite a bit bigger. These little aloe hybrids I moved into the shade because one of my viewers told me to, and they're doing so much better back here. He told me they actually don't like to be in the full sun, which is where they were. And so they're really starting to come back. This one actually just flowered. So they're doing good. This little variegated, it was similar to a tiger jaw. What was this thing? I forget, but it's pretty much lost its variegation, even though I had it kind of hiding in the shade, but that's okay. And these euphorbias are doing good. This was the cutting that I was given, and that little top piece, that's all new growth. It's called a zigzag euphorbia, but I love it. Another little agave. Oh, is that a mealybug? I think that's a mealybug right down in there. I probably won't be able to get to, but I will deal with that. Hello, David. So my bowls are doing good still. Everything looks good. I will probably redo these in the spring. This Athona capensis, it always dies right.
It's looking kind of ratty.
It always dies right here on the top. The sun hits it. Oh, this pot is dry.
I wouldn't be real proud of that.
But I'm proud of that. It's called Ruby Necklace. And look at the one on this side. Yeah, what does Laura Eubanks always say about the microclimates? This one's much, much drier. This one's a lot happier. And this blue elf bloomed again, which is pretty funny. And these 2 little flowers, hopefully they'll open. It's starting to cool down. But I still, this sedum here, is this sedum? What was this? Adolphii, sedum. Look at
Echeveria Sahara, crusted, variegated.
No.
I don't know, hell.
But I think this is the sedum. I believe it was the Adolphii or the California Sunset, something. Look at the color on that. It's so beautiful. I love this red. It never shows up on camera the way it actually looks, so, but the bowls are doing good. They are dry as a bone. I think both of them are. But there's little plants hiding down under here. You know, they're happy. So yeah, I'll redo this. This is a cotyledon mint truffle. I've been talking all summer about cutting these back. And
Turned out pretty cool.
I decided, Dave's like, hey, there's another little wrought iron table in the back. You should paint it too. And so I painted it this morning. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it out in the cactus garden, and then I'm going to put some garden stakes into the ground to hold it down so I can put a pot on it. And that way it won't fall over. But yeah, I've kind of gotten a little bit crazy with the spray paint. And here, speaking of that, here's where I put the shelf that I did the other day. So I thought that would be a good spot. I'm going to just start adding the rest of the plants that I want to move under here to protect them. The problem is right now, this wall gets 0 sun because the sun comes up over there now and goes across that way. So this side, this was the shelf that was on this other wall. But now this side gets some morning sun, not a whole lot. So I did move some of these things that like a little morning sun over to here, like my Aeonium pink witch, which I was very excited to discover. Actually, this morning when I moved it, let me see if I can find it. It's got a pup coming on here. Here it is. We're gonna kind of turn you around backwards a little bit. Let's see if we can see that little pup down into there. Yeah, right there. Can you see that? So yeah, I was pretty excited about that. This thing looked so pretty when I had it out behind my greenhouse this year. And then when I moved it out here, it just did not like It was getting way too much sun. And then I move it into the shade, so it does have a little color, but it was like red. It was beautiful. But it's healthy, it's growing, and it's putting out a pup. And this is its growing season now. These Aeoniums are starting to wake up. That's my little crested Mexican fence post that I just got like a month ago. And if you remember, I bought the 3... Okay, let me look. Here, you know what? I'll just show you. Can you read that name? Selenacerius grandiflorus. And I bought the 3 small cuttings, and 2 of them rooted pretty quickly, which was this one and that one. And then this one, I wasn't sure if it was going to make it. Well, it finally rooted, and it's got a little new growth. This put out a whole new arm. I wasn't sure if it was a flower bud, but it actually turned out to be a new arm. And then this one is just shooting up really tall. So I'm really happy with those, and I'll repot those probably in the spring. I don't know if I'll do it. This, I believe, is Ripsalis paradoxa, string of chains. I love this. I noticed this little spot on there. Not sure what that is, so I'll have to watch that. I just noticed that today, but it's been really happy here. So those I hung over there. I got some euphorbias, a lot of little euphorbias tucked in under here. And you'll be happy to know that my fuchsia is still alive. As many times as I've tried to kill this poor plant. I have had to trim it way back. I got rid of all the dead stuff. Ooh, don't get dizzy. Not much growth on this. This little booby cactus, I got a little bit of growth on the top. And this is a little cutting that I found in a pot. And I didn't kill it. And there's a little tiny one in there with it. I don't remember what it was. I can't remember what plant I took it out of. But a little seedling. It was a bonus. And then that coffee cup has no drainage in it, and I always forget when I water, so I've been flooding this poor little gasteria all year, but it's still alive. And then this here is called, what is this called? This is called, I forget, but it was given to me, and it turned purple, and it was stressed all year, and I didn't think it was even gonna ever look pretty again. And now I moved it out here so it gets a lot more fresh air, and it was getting afternoon shade, and it's starting to go green. So I'm pretty happy about that, and hopefully I'll get some flowers on it next year. I got my little Euphorbia obesa, and then I think this one's a little hybrid under there. Those I'll be moving inside. Random. I made a little short. Did I post it? I don't think I posted it. I posted it, a short I made of these California poppies. And it was funny because I planted 2 of them in this planter this year, early in the spring. And they did great, and they must have just thrown seeds everywhere. This is our California state flower, and you're not allowed to pick them, but they grow everywhere. You're driving down the freeway up and down the state, and the hillsides will just be orange. But they're closing up now because it's getting late. They were opened earlier. Raider, you're in my view here. Yes, I know, little man. A goofy little puppy. Goofy little puppy. Good boy. So I have California poppies literally everywhere. And I just decided to let them do their thing. These are the flowers. I went and I bought a bunch of them. And the orange and the red in there, and then these really pretty daisy looking things. And as soon as I put them in there, of course the dogs immediately dug them up. I was so mad. I had to go buy new ones. I did save a couple of the ones they dug up. I put them in the back. They're pretty ratty looking, but they're hanging in there. But I had to replace the red ones. And yeah, so we'll see how they do, if we can keep the dogs out of them. But here's something that's interesting. So I have this, I think it's called oxalis or oxalis. I don't know how to say it. It's sold as purple shamrock. And I've got, I planted a bunch in here, and it gets these really pretty little lavender flowers on it. I have some green down in here that gets yellow flowers. So I planted that in here, and it took off, and it popped up over here. Except these ones are the size, they're as big around as a coffee cup, and the flowers are even bigger. It's so funny. I can't believe. Let me see. Okay, you can see this one on my hand. You see how big that is? And then look at that one in my hand. Look at the difference in size. Just massive. Crazy. I'll probably regret letting them just do that because I'll just take over, but because I'm sure it is just a weed. So I still have really nice blooms on my Echeveria Saharas. So I'm letting them ride. This still looks the same. Probably looks a little worse. I will get to it eventually. I'll probably just end up waiting until spring. Look at this mealybug. I gotta spray that tonight or that plant's just gonna die. Dave's over there teasing the dogs. Look at Spud. So Spud likes to grab a bottle top or a dish rag or a wash rag or anything like that, and he loves just to run away with it. And he wants you to chase him. He's so funny. So everything in here is looking good. This is my silver lady. Beautiful. No, this is not my silver lady. This is my silver fox. It's doing great. I have a lavender lady. It's in a pot somewhere. I will probably be moving all these little guys off the shelf soon. The Pringlei is doing great. It looks really good. That pot still hasn't been touched. Look at all this holly. Dave's he's being silly.
No?
That is Echeveria. Which one?
What?
Which
one?
one's?
What do you mean?
Which one's Echeveria?
Both. All three of those.
That's right.
Yeah,
but
baby.
what are the varieties? What's the one in the middle?
Long stringy.
No. What's my favorite Echeveria?
Sahara.
There you go.
Non-variegated.
Non-variegated. That's right.
But crusted.
No, it's not crusted.
Oh, shit.
Hey, language, sugar mouth. So over here.
On the other part of your garden?
Which other part?
You know, the good part. You know, this part over here that you put so much hard work into.
That's
absolutely amazing.
That's my weed garden.
That weed's a plant.
It is a plant.
What variety?
You know, I don't even know what.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's Russian ragweed, there's star thistle.
It's an Erectus maximus.
An Erectus maximus, okay. So here is some cuttings I took off of. I don't know what, I think the animal must have jumped in and moved this one. I just threw these in here. I haven't even put in more dirt. Some Portulacaria. So that's minima. Here's some Portulacaria afra variegata. Yeah, that's a good one to say. This is a yucca that we got from a friend of mine. I think it looks like it's probably settled in there because the leaves are getting fat. I haven't watered it in a while. My staghorn haven't watered it in a while. I probably won't be watering the cactus too much again, if at all. Can you hear those dogs? They're just like crazy. They're actually just playing. But yeah, so this one's doing really good. I potted it up, moved it out here. And yeah, I got a few little weeds growing in here. I need to get after those. These Echeverias, these ones and that one, they looked horrible when I planted them. They came from the grocery store. They just look amazing now. And they're still blooming like crazy. Get out of my garden. Go. He throws the ball over here. It lands in here. Everything goes sailing. Okay, check out this Portulacaria. So I believe this was minima. And you know what's interesting? I'm seeing some leaves. Oh, no, they're just light. It looked like they were getting variegated. But look at this thing. It's like a tree. So I got to get after this. There is a little millii under here, a pretty one, hiding. There's actually some more Echeverias down under there. Look how easy they break off. And there's a little aloe distans right there. So yeah, I need to trim this. I can't even hardly see my pig that's over here. These Aeoniums are really waking up. They never really went dormant because it stays cool because of this vent here. But the ones in the pot that were all closed up are starting to open. These are doing really good. Those little Aeoniums over there. need to go in the ground, to be honest. All of my Aloe Cameronii is well rooted because it's all gone green again. And then over here, we have, I forget what this one is. This is an old one. I brought this one out here. It was in the back, but it's really cool. It's a clumping cactus. And I believe this one's native to California. Here's a cutting of a Cameronia. You see how red it had turned, but I think it's rooted now because it's got baby growth in there now, so which means it's growing and it's probably rooted. A little Opuntia pad. What variety is this? I forget. Little random choya. This is the kind you do not want to touch these. They have like a little sheath over the spine. They come off. People, they have a nickname for them, like the jumps at you or jumping cactus. I don't know what it is, but they were a nightmare when I was a kid growing up in the desert in Southern California. You know, they were everywhere and you were constantly getting stuck. So this little Euphorbia millii, I'm loving it. Now, when I bought it, the flowers were yellow, but now the colors, ow, that wasn't a cactus thorn. That was just this stick I just poked myself with. They're actually kind of a pinkish blush sort of color. But I didn't even notice it was actually flowering. So it's pretty happy here. I will need to protect it because I planted it in the ground. Don't ask me why. Pumbaa, what are you doing over there? He's trying to bust through into Squeal's yard. No, you can't come in here, buddy. And now I have another little Aeoniums procera. I bought this one because I thought my other one was dying. It is starting to leaf out again. Can you see all the little tiny leaves on there? When the sun hits things, it just really washes out the color. But I'm going to move this one because I did leave it in the pot so I can protect it because it's not frost hardy. And I don't want to lose it. Over here, let's see. So this is my agave tooth fairy, which I'm loving this. Look at the new growth, the color. It's like red on the spines. And then it has a ton of little pups. So it's really doing, get the sun out of the way. Come around this way. Anyway, it's doing really good. This is a sharp one. I have a dickia here. It's putting on some new growth, so it's doing good. My barrel looks really good. Super happy with that. That Nopalis, another Opuntia. I'll have to prune some of those pads off because it's getting big and that will take over. And I mean, seriously take over. Oh, and over here, look at here. Where'd you go? Look at, that's the rose bush that was growing under this cart. I took it out and clearly I need to get after that again because I missed a spot. I thought I sprayed it really good. I dug it all out, tried to kill it. And it's struggling. It wants to come back, but I don't want it to come back. I have plenty of roses. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So this was the Trichocereus validus that I got at Poots Nursery. And so it's got, well, first it put off this big new arm, which was pretty exciting. Did I just see a lizard? And then it got two more. So next year, it'll probably be slowing down. You know, most of these big cactus slow down over the winter. Oh, I did. There's a lizard right there. Whoop, there it goes. I won't water these again. But next year, that plant's going to be amazing. I think those arms will take off. And my little copper spoons looks really good. I did treat it because it had some mealybugs down in there. And I don't see anything else. And it looks like it's got a lot of new growth coming in. Lizard, so cute. And this little sago palm still hasn't put off any new leaves, but it seems like it's trying. My wagon looks great. My other little barrel cactus, look how pretty. Golden barrel. Now this one does look like it got a little damage from the sun this year. I could see a little bit of yellow on the edges, but it'll establish itself, and that's a super hardy plant. Another perii with little pups here. under here, and over here. And this is another really sharp one. So this agave is just growing like crazy. Or not agave, agavoides. I like this one. I can come in here and trim out some of these dead leaves. I need my little tweezies. It's hard to get in there. Primer. What are you doing? Good boy. This Aloe Cameronii, see, here's that stupid little rose. This Aloe Cameronii is still nice and red, but I can see it's coming in green now. So it's probably rooted in here pretty well. I could pull it out and chop the roots off, but I won't. But next year I might do something with those aloes. Another Sahara. It's kind of hard to see it with this light, but... And then there's my agave Filifera. It's got little pups all over. And the other pup, the newest pup, not that pup, Spud. I gotta be careful walking through here that I don't stab myself. One of the pups, it's got actually starting to look like a little Filifera. But it does have a bunch more underneath. So that looks good. And all the pups on this Sahara. Get all these dead leaves out of here. But yeah, that's doing really good. That's gonna be so clumpy. These ones all have pups. This little Apuntia is just getting taller. It must be its growth habit, because it gets, where are you? It gets full sun, so I know it's not that it's etiolated. I think that's just its growth habit. Snow fuzzy, it's called. Yeah, that's a cool plant. Okay. What else? I think that's about it. Let's wander back this way. And we'll go take a quick look at my dragon fruit. See how they're doing. I did move a lot of other plants over to it. And they're getting some morning sun. But here's the view from this direction. I can't believe how much this has grown in. This section here, it was from September. Yeah, over a year old now. And then this section I put in October. So this section's a year old now, and it's really filling in. I'm happy with how everything looks in here. I want more plants, but I don't have any place to put them. I need to start working on this side. Get rid of these roses. I did take a cutting of this one, and it's doing really well. It's out by the greenhouse. It's in a little tiny pot. It's a miniature rose. I have not pruned this thing in 3 years. Every now and then the gardeners just hack it all off, which is horrifying because that's not how you prune roses. But it comes right back, but the problem is it's just so thick and bushy now. So I need to deal with them. This volunteer, I believe this is a Mexican fan palm. That just showed up. It just grew there. I don't even know where the seed came from. Must have been a bird dropped one or something, I don't know, but it fits, so I'm gonna leave it. But I do want to get rid of these boxwoods, maybe in the spring. But this side will have to be a lot more sparse, you know, maybe more boulders and top dressing, and maybe, maybe some agaves, something that can take water, because the sprinklers do hit this section. It looks really dry now because I've had the water turned off for about a week and a half. Just because, look at the grass. It doesn't really need it. Clearly everything's doing good, so I like to shut the water off and, conserve if I can. But I do want to do this side. And I'm really thinking seriously about taking all those roses out. Maybe just taking some cuttings, starting some cuttings of my favorite ones. Like the orange one over there. I did get a cutting from the yellow one. Look at this little guy. I love the late bloomers. And that purple. That just amazes me. That's just natural. I don't even know what to say about that. That's pretty. Coming through. We gotta go look at my dragon fruit. Mr. Raider. Good boy. Okay, so here I do have my little string of pearls are up there. I had to take them down because it got hot before I left. I went hiking for a week, but it's going to get hot again. And then I have this little donkey tail It looks like it needs to be watered again. I just soaked it. But I've got these little cuttings, I think are rooted now. I need to water them again. My dragon fruit has got so many new little growth bits, you know. You know, the small pieces are growing like crazy. I see the one on the back here. Where is it? Oh, it's going backwards. I think this is an epiphyllum. I don't know what varieties, but they seem to be doing good. I think they're rooted. I believe this is maybe some sort of is that a cotyledon? But I keep moving it and it keeps growing towards the sun, so I think it's rooted. It's doing good. Here, these were all cuttings. Ooh, they feel kind of limp. They probably need some water. We had our gun club dinner the other night. There's a trap club around the corner, and they had a raffle. And look what I won at the raffle. Of all things, you know, Dave put tickets and all kinds of stuff. I thought these plants were fake, and I really just wanted the little pot. But it turns out they're actually real. So it looks like an agavoides. I don't know what this is. Is it a little Haworthia maybe? It's maybe an aloe. It's pretty stiff. It's got little spiny edges. And then that little etiolated thing. Anyway, so, but look at the growth on this dragon fruit. Look at how tall this piece is. It's almost, I can probably tie that over to here now. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. And then my little sawtooth, rickrack, whatever, cactus. Looking good. It looked horrible when I got back from my trip because I didn't have Dave water anything, just like a handful of stuff. And this poor thing was emaciated. I guess I water it more often than I think I do, but yeah, I think it needs to be treated. It's got some kind of a disease. So, but I need to buy, there's a spray. I guess I could just treat it with the liquid copper that I have. I don't know. Oh, check this out. It's got another flower this late. It's growing like crazy. And over here, yeah, look at this new growth. And then this little piece that I stuck in here, it looks like it's got something going on down there. So I might need to just pull that out and toss it. I'll have to take a closer look at it. But yeah, the dragon fruit's doing really good. Still pretty damp in here. So I did get the cedar bark over it to keep it from drying out so fast. But yeah, so that's everything. I mean, I still have some stuff on my, well, let's see what it looks like over here behind the corner. Here, this is what I do. I do have plants over on here that are pretty neglected. Like those ones I threw under there, I never did put dirt in there with them. I got some little choyas and some eaves needles in there. Most of these are little cuttings. They need to be watered again. This thing, I keep watering it. It fluffs up and then I forget about it. I got to move it. But yeah, all these little plants I need to find homes for. I like to sell them, but if not, I'll just give them away. And then I got a couple of cuttings from that citronella plant. And they haven't rooted yet. They're in water, so hopefully they'll start soon. But yeah, that's about it. Everything's looking good. Getting into the middle of fall now, and the weather's been great. So, yeah. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.